Cinema comes in many different forms and genres. It affects each of us very differently. But the ones that stay with us are the ones that affect us, the ones that make us feel something. And I think the thing that makes us feel the most is truth.
Be safe. Meaning here, feet.
Sometimes truth is a happy thing, and sometimes it's sad, but there's no doubt that it's powerful. And a movie I found an immense amount of truth in is Swiss Army Man. Swiss Army Man is a story about Hank and Manny, and Hank ran away from everything. But he finds Manny and... And this is a recurring joke in this movie that I just told you is profound. You see, Manny is dead, but through some miracle seems to only be mostly dead. He begins to speak, but he doesn't know anything about anything.
Manny, if you don't know Jurassic Park, you don't know shit.
So as Hank takes Manny with him on his journey home, he teaches him everything he knows.
You're different. Maybe you fell in radioactive waste, or maybe you were a special genetically engineered soldier who was cryogenically frozen and sent back in time to save me and save all of mankind. Oh, Super Manny.
Now, why would Hank take a dead body with him? Well, because Manny is...
You're like the multi-purpose tool guy. You're special. I'm special.
And during this trip of many ups and downs, a beautiful thing unfolds. We see Hank teaching Manny about loss, love, and friendship, and what it means to really be human. He tried to escape a life that he wasn't really living. He was just too scared. He explains to Manny that back home, people don't fart in front of each other.
People don't like other people's farts.
Is that why you don't fart in front of me?
No. I just like to do it alone, or hold it in.
Manny asks,
What are we even going back home for? It sounds like you're not allowed to do anything back there.
and just then, Hank learns something from Manny. If Hank ever gets to go home, he will be brave. He will confront his father for their distant relationship. He will make peace with the death of his mother. And he will talk to that girl he saw on the bus. So after a low point of conflict,
You made me think I was in love with someone who never even knew I existed.
the two of them find their way home. The harshness of reality comes crashing back around the two.
Dawson word he needs help.
What? Is that true? You okay?
Hank immediately retreats back into his false identity. And Manny is going to be put in an unmarked grave and forgotten.
Actually checks out.
What do they do with him now?
Spend 2 weeks in the morgue while they try to figure out who the hell he is. And when nobody comes to claim the body, because nobody ever does, the county can pay for a funeral no one will show up to, because obviously no one cared about the son of a bitch to begin with. Hey.
Hank won't let his friend be forgotten.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Hey, buddy. Hank, what are you trying to do to me? What's your mother think?
I think she'd be happy somebody loves me.
They might laugh at us. They might call us names. They might think we're weird, but it doesn't matter what they think. Just please, don't die.
Hey! You made all that?
Yes.
And something beautiful happens.
It was me.
This moment
I did it.
defies writing conventions in the most amazing way. Hank fesses up to the fart in front of everyone, finishing his character arc.
All right, let's go.
The truths that he discovered from teaching Manny have become his own. It's okay to be yourself and not let fear control you. Hank will forever be a better man for it. And it was all centered around a fart joke.
All right, man, that's enough, okay?
That wasn't me.
I never thought a movie hosting copious amounts of fart jokes would bring me to tears, but here we are. The Daniels really killed it. Here's how they put it.
The movie is about a farting corpse, but we wanted to take that and make it the most beautiful thing we could and make it the most heartfelt thing we could.
You know, with amazing actors, with beautiful visuals, with an amazing score, it had to exist with all those things, almost to just prove to ourselves and prove to everyone else that maybe we're looking at how films should be made a little too small. And I think it took a lot of really talented people that we surround ourselves with to kind of push it out into the world.
The specifics of the movie can be interpreted multiple ways, but I like to think that most of what we see is absurdist renderings of what really happened. Hank didn't build a theme park worth of attractions out of trash, and Manny isn't alive. Hank figuratively died on that island, and was reborn with a fresh perspective on everything, just like Manny.
I'd always hoped that right before I died, my life would flash before my eyes, and I would see wonderful things. A life full of parties and friends. But as I was hanging up there, I didn't really see much of anything. But I did see you.
And every lesson he gives to Manny is when he really needs to hear himself. The more Manny learns about life, the more alive he becomes. And the exact same is true for Hank. Hank said that when he died, he thought that his life would flash before his eyes. Parties and hanging out with friends. But instead, he saw nothing. Only Manny. But then Hank and Manny did all those things. So when he thought he was gonna die on the bridge, those things are exactly what he saw. For the first time in his life, he was actually living. I think Hank's gonna be just fine. My biggest takeaway is that if your message is true, then the medium of which you give people that truth can be anything. Even farts.
So we all know Season 8 was a travesty, so I don't want to just review it, but run it through some script doctoring. And I shall do this basically character by character, since the characters are what I think they messed up the most. But first let me complain from a wider view. Whether from laziness or from being in a hurry to go make their Star Wars show, I think D&D fell into a trap of making the show too self-aware. In the